Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. It's Mike D right here in the spot. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to all the followers, subscribers. Make sure you hit like and subscribe and all of those things, man. I'm assuming my role as the grassroots hip hop anchorman. And today, what I want to actually uncover or take a closer look at is Rolling Stone's 21st Century Countdown. So they did a top 250 albums, of the 21st century. And a lot of people have just been picking the albums out that were hip hop. And I've seen a lot of top 10 lists, but nobody's really digging deeper in there because my whole thing was I was looking for Get Rich or Die Trying for a very long time. And I'm like, how does Get Rich or Die Trying get overlooked in this, right? And so I did the research. I did the work to actually go through their list, all 250. And I actually discovered a few things. I discovered number one, that 50 is way, way back. We're gonna get to where Get Rich or Die Trying is on that list, on the overall list, and where it is as far as hip hop albums go, or rap albums go. And I also discovered that once again, Rolling Stone has left Nas off the list altogether. Nas in the 21st century, in the 2000s, if you will, has 15 projects. 16 if you count Lost Tapes 2. Now, I did count Lost Tapes 1 because I know Lost Tapes 1 did have some bangers on it. I do think that it should have gotten some consideration. But I want to go through this list, right? Because we were on a live the other night and we couldn't find Get Rich or Die Trying because, you know, we have limited time when we're on lives and we're trying to interact and we don't want the show to drag out. But I actually was like, you know what, I'm going to go do this research on my own and pick out all the individual rap albums. Because once again, this list is all genres. So you're going to have to really go, or one would have to go do the work of just going through their list and just notating what rap albums are on there, which ones aren't, yada yada. So I did the work for you guys so you don't have to do that part. But if you want to go back and cross-reference anything that I'm saying, feel free to do so because it's all out there. So I'm going to go through. Let me be on. Let me just. I'm gonna let you guys hear this. I'm not even gonna do the spoiler alert. I'm just gonna go through it. So number one's Outkast Stankonia. Number two is Good Kid, Mad City. Number three is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Number four is The Blueprint. Number five is Missy Elliott's Under Construction. Number six is Take Care by Drake. Number seven is The Carter Three, Lil Wayne. Number eight is Mad Villainy. That's MF Doom and Mad Lib. Shout out to Mad Lib. And rest in peace to Doom. To Pimp a Butterfly is number 9. Number 10 is the Marshall Mathers LP. The College Dropouts, number 11. Supreme Clientele is number 12. The Black Album by Jay-Z is number 13. Hell Have No Fury by The Clips is 14. Dilla's Donuts is number 15. Kendrick Lamar's Damn is number 16. Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday is number 17. Kanye West's 808s and Heartbreaks is number 18. Cardi B's Invasion of Privacy is number 19. Chance the Rapper's Acid Rap is number 20. Future's Dirty Sprite 2 is number 21. Tyler the Creator's Call Me If You Get Lost is number 22. Still no Get Rich or Die Trying, guys. Still no Get Rich or Die Trying. So Much Fun by Young Thug is number 23. 24 is The Drought 3 by Lil Wayne. Ain't even an album, but that's okay. Number 25, Eternal Atake from Lil Uzi Vert. It's number 25. Drake's If You're Reading This Is Too Late is number 26. Oh, Chief Keef's Finally Famous is number 27. Number 28 is Migos Culture. Number 29 is Playboi Carti's Die Lit. Number 30, still no Get Rich or Die Trying, guys. Number 30, J. Cole, The Off Season. At this point, I was about to give up. I was about to say, you know what? I guess it's just not on here. You know what I mean? Number 31, Kanye West's Yeezus. Number 32, Missy Elliott's Miss E So Addictive. Number 33, Danny Brown's XXX. Number 34, we got Common's Like Water for Chocolate. Number 35, we got Killer Mike's Rap Music. Number 36, you got Layla's Wisdom by Rhapsody. Number 37, you got Astro World by Travis Scott. Number 38, Come Home With Me by Cam. Shout out to Cam. 39, we got Pusha T's Daytona, and y'all know how I feel about Daytona. And at number 40, we got 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest here. I'm going to be perfectly transparent here. Do I like Supreme Clientele more than Get Rich or Die Trying? Personally, yes. Do I think it's a better album? Sure. Do I think that there is a hip-hop album that I named here on this list that I think deserves to be considered over Get Rich or Die Trying for the 21st century? No. Get Rich or Die Trying has everything. Get Rich or Die Trying is a magnum opus. It's an event. It's a smash. It built careers. It built 50's empire. It built empires outside of 50. And this album has legs. This album has longevity. This album was successful. This album made 50 Cent a household name overnight. And it did it on every level, from the streets. It did it on the mainstream. How on earth and what criteria are we basing this on? Oh, let me not forget. It was critically acclaimed too. It wasn't some album that just had cookie cutter hits that actually got it past the finish line. 50 just did a tour 20 years later on this album. And it was a sellout tour. How many of these other albums could we say could do the same thing? Now, I don't know what Rolling Stone has against 50 Cent or whatever, but you can't make these lists personal, man. This is rewriting history. Anybody who composes a list for the best albums of the 21st century, oh yeah, and overall, it was 40 when it came to rap albums, and it was number 203 when it came to all the albums, right? Anybody who sits here and says that Get Rich or Die Trying, is the 203rd best album of the 21st century, you weren't there in 2003 when this album dropped. This album stopped everything. You know what? There's an album that's on here that came out the same year as Get Rich or Die Trying that is very high, and that is the Black Album. If anyone were to ask, I mean, let's just keep it honest, man. I love Jay. I think the Black Album is Jay's third best album, behind Reasonable Doubt and The Blueprint, of course. Nobody in 2003 or beyond would tell you that the Black Album is just straight up better than Get Rich or Die Trying. Do you guys think that the Black Album is better than Get Rich or Die Trying? I don't. I don't think Under Construction is better than Get Rich or Die Trying. I don't think Take Care is better than Get Rich or Die Trying. I don't think Stankonia is better than Get Rich or Die Trying. And I love Cass. Stankonia is actually Outkast's fourth best album. So Stankonia being number one is interesting in itself. And Get Rich or Die Trying is better than Good Kid, Mad City, and Spades. Yes, I said it. And when we talk about My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, if I'm being honest, I mean, I think My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is trailblazing. It's a classic, and it ushered in a whole new generation, and it set the standard for the generation after it. But is it better than Get Rich or Die Trying? No. I mean, I can't definitively say any of these albums that we're holding super high are better than Get Rich or Die Trying. Is the Carter 3 better than Get Rich or Die Trying? No. Is To Pimp a Butterfly better than Get Rich or Die Trying? No. Is the Marshall Mathers LP better than Get Rich or Die Trying? No, it's not. Hell Have No Fury? No. Damn, no. Pink Friday? Hell no. Like, let's be honest, man. Like, who is writing this stuff up, and what's the criteria? And whatever criteria you want to make up when it comes to this album, there's no way in hell that you're going to tell me Eternal Atake from Lil Uzi Vert is better than Get Rich or Die Trying. By any metric. What metric are you actually gauging this by? You're telling me that Tyler, the Creator, Call Me If You Get Lost, which is a dope album now, is number 22 as the best rap albums of the 21st century, and Get Rich or Die Trying is number 40, you're going to have to explain that. You're going to have to explain how Finally Rich from Chief Keef is number 27 and Get Rich or Die Trying is 40. Now, if you want to pull that argument that, you know, I don't like Change the Game, yeah, it did. But what about In the Club? What about Many Men? What about Wankster? What about Back Down? What about 21 Questions? Like, what about What Up Gangster? Like, what are we talking about here? I don't know what 50 Cent did to you guys over there at Rolling Stone or whatever you got against him, but that's personal and whatever y'all got there. But don't attempt to rewrite history and have Miss E So Addictive or, you know what I'm saying, like, or Layla's Wisdom, no disrespect to anybody, over albums like Get Rich or Die Tryin'. What are we doing? At that point, your whole list is discredited. And I know this ain't a hip hop list. And I know this ain't, you know, this is an overall list, right? And I think that makes it even more egregious because at the end of the day, we don't go to Rolling Stone for hip hop, and that's fine. But we do go to Rolling Stone for music. So this is an overall music list. And I think that a record or album and an event and something that fed so many people and inspired so many people and opened up so many doors for so many people, like Get Rich or Die Tryin', needs to get more respect from the industry. And I don't know what anybody is. How could anybody even put this out and say, you know what, that's cool, that's okay. Let's put Get Rich or Die Tryin' at number 230 of the 21st century. One of the biggest albums of the 21st century. One of the most critically acclaimed hip hop albums ever. One of the biggest events ever in hip hop history. You couldn't even ignore Get Rich or Die Tryin'. And the music matches it. I think that's the more important part. This ain't about just the success of the album. The music matches it. And the music has lasted. The music has stood the test of time and everything else. It's very sad, man. Acid rap, man. I mean, come on. And that's no disrespect to anybody. But I don't hear anybody really talking about that. And I guess, you know, 50 is a villain to some, but I gotta, you know, we gotta get this thing right. And people gotta understand when they're not getting it right. And people gotta understand when, you know, history is being rewritten in front of your eyes. Now, the other thing I noticed, and I was gonna actually leave it at that, you know, but it was also brought to my attention that on this list, you know, I was gonna stop at 40. But then I was like, you know what, let me keep going because I noticed something else going on. So, Summertime '06 is number 41. Long Live ASAP is number 42. Swimming is number 43. That's Mac Miller. Party Music, is number 44 from Coop. 45 is some rap songs. 46 is Pray for Haiti. 47 is Hot Pink, that's Doja Cat, and 48 is Savage Mode. Now, in the 21st century, one of our greatest MCs who did a bulk of his work in the 21st century is not represented at all in 250 albums. So, for the people out there who are going to say, you know, Nas is a 90s MC, let me put you on to the work that Nas has put out in the 2000s. Or 21st century, however you want to put it. In the 21st century, Nas released Stillmatic, Lost Tapes, Godson, Street's Disciple, Hip Hop is Dead, Untitled, Life is Good, Distant Relatives, Nasir, KD1, KD2, Magic, KD3, Magic 2, and Magic 3. And if we want to count the Lost Tapes 2, that's another project there. But we got 16 projects if we're counting not Magic 2, if we're counting the Lost Tapes 2. So you're telling me that of all of these hip hop records that are represented here, some as recent as what are some of the more recent ones? You know, Call Me If You Get Lost is here at number 22. We have a lot of stuff from 2020 on. So you're telling me that Life is Good, Stillmatic, KD3, nor Magic, being generous here, none of those albums could get a place on the 250 best albums of the 21st century so far. I mean, we got the Black Album on here, we got the Blueprint on here, and like I said, we got Daytona on here, we got Layla's Wisdom's here, Rap Music from Killer Mike's on here. Rap Music and Life is Good came out the same year. I think Stillmatic is better than a good amount of the albums that are represented here. And I also feel that if you got the Blueprint at number 4, I do feel that Stillmatic needs some level of representation because the Blueprint and Stillmatic are synonymous with one another. It's a debate whether, the Blueprint's actually better than Stillmatic. Now, I am of the belief system that the Blueprint is the superior album, but not by a long shot. I think it's better produced. I think songs are better, but I do think that the mic performance on Stillmatic was better. I do think that they're very comparable in that sense. I think some of the big highlight moments on Stillmatic could rival those highlight moments on the Blueprint. I feel like if the Blueprint's a 5 mic album, I mean, Stillmatic got 5 mics as well, but let's just say Stillmatic is a 4.5 mic album. They're right there. So for Stillmatic to not be represented at all, I think is really, really wild. And especially since, we got, 3 Kendrick projects in the top 16 when it comes to rap albums. So it does feel a little biased here. It does feel that, you got a top 3, in my opinion, the greatest MC of all time in Nas, who has dropped 15, 16 projects in the 21st century and doesn't have a placement at all. You got a place for Savage Mode. You got a place for Eternal Take. You got a place for Die Lit. Like, come on, Rolling Stone. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know what y'all got against Nas and 50 Cent, but I think the most egregious thing here on this list is the fact that Get Rich or Die Tryin' is the 40th best rap album of the 21st century. Who the hell believes that Get Rich or Die Tryin' is the 40th best rap album of the past 25 years? That is insane. And then on top of that, it's the 203rd best album of the 21st century, period. And then to sit here and say, how many rap albums were represented? Of the 48 rap albums that were represented, Nas with Stillmatic, Magic, Life is Good, or KD3 isn't among any of them. I think that's wild. And I think that if anything, Stillmatic should have been represented. If you don't want to put the Lost Tapes on there, you ain't a hip-hop publication, I get it. But if we want to sit here and say that the Blueprint is the 4th best rap album to come out in the 21st century, and you had 48 rap albums represented on your countdown, and Stillmatic's not on there, come on, man, you got some explaining to do. But yes, that's my diatribe there. Again, no one has gone out here and really dissected this list for that part of it, and the egregious nature and the fact that Get Rich or Die Tryin' is seemingly being pushed out of history to a certain extent or diminished, because there's no other way to put it. You're diminishing Get Rich or Die Tryin' and its impact and the album that it is and everything that it did for this era and for hip hop. You're diminishing that. To sit there and put Tyler the Creator's Call Me If You Get Lost and many others, I'm not just calling out Tyler, but all of them, putting them above an album like that, give me the metrics, give me the reasoning for why that album that should be number 1. Let's be honest. Because there's a very, very short list of rap albums that we could sit here and say in the 21st century are just hands down above Get Rich or Die Tryin'. And you got to explain that. You got to explain that. Because Get Rich or Die Tryin' was a monster. And then on top of that, you got one of the greatest MCs of all time putting in his best work to a certain degree in the 21st century, and he doesn't have one album represented on there. Got some explaining to do. So yeah, you, the fans, go out there and Rolling Stone, let them know what you think. Jump in the comment section. Let me know if, I'm tripping or if I'm on point with this. And yeah, we're going to get to this on another show, another episode, another live. Make sure you join me on a live on Monday. I'm going to start doing these shorter videos to kind of stay abreast of what's going on and keep the dialogue going. But make sure if you want to catch me live with Siobhan on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to keep this thing going, man. Hit like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys. And tell a friend that we here giving the real news. All right.